Did you know that you can sound more conversational in English if you use filler words in your speech? Yes, that is true. So in this episode, I'm going to list some of the most common filler words in English that you can use to sound more conversational. Hey everybody, how's it going? Thiago here, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. In case you're new here, I've created this podcast and YouTube channel to help intermediate and advanced learners of English communicate with more confidence, more accuracy, more clarity, and more awareness. If this sounds like something you want for yourself and your English, subscribe to the channel here on YouTube and follow the show on Spotify or Apple Podcasts so you don't miss a single new episode. Also, don't forget to check out my pronunciation course, which is available on pre-sale right now. This is a course I've designed to help you better understand native speakers because it teaches you the main connected speech patterns they use when they speak in media and in real life. And also, it's a course to help you with your pronunciation because it also teaches you the main sounds of the English language so you can improve your pronunciation on a more individual level. The course right now is available on pre-sale at a very special discounted price, so I really recommend you check it out, and if it makes sense to you, buy it now and secure this special discount on the course. The link to find out more about the course is in the description here on YouTube and also as a pinned comment down below. And if you are on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, go to the show notes of this episode and you can find the link there. But do check it out. All right, so what are filler words? Filler words or filler phrases are those words and phrases that we usually use, well, to fill the pause, to fill the silence. When we are not communicating anything, we are not saying anything, but in order to avoid that pause or avoid that silence, we use a filler word or a filler phrase. It's important to point out here that you have to be careful with these filler words because yes, they can be helpful, but if you overuse them, your communication might get too distracting to people and your message might get lost in the middle of all those filler words. So use them with taste. What I usually say is that filler words are great for lower levels. If you are at an A2 level or even B1 level, and if you need to develop your fluency a little bit more, you still speak in a kind of a robotic way, you feel kind of stuck when you speak, adding more filler words to your speech will help you develop more fluency and will help you sound more loose in your communication. Now, if you are more advanced as a speaker, maybe if you are at a B2, C1, or higher level, then I would recommend toning it down a little bit. So be careful not to use too many filler words. Instead of using the filler words, if you are more advanced, look for the specific word or expression to communicate what you want to communicate, but don't resort to filler words. You see, so it's a balance that we have to strike here, but for lower levels, I think that they can be very useful for those reasons I just listed. So let's start with our filler words list here. The first one is the most basic one. It's the sound You can go you know, these are the most common hesitation sounds, I think. So for example, you can go, I'm not sure what to say. You see, instead of just saying, I'm not sure what to say, you can add the filler there. I'm not sure what to say. Okay? What about this one? Like. Like is really common. It's often used to introduce examples or comparisons. For example, it was like the best concert ever. You see, like here is a filler. It's not adding anything to the meaning of the sentence. The sentence is, it was the best concert ever. But you hear sometimes people going, it was like the best concert ever. I hear many teenagers actually, to be honest, many teenagers or younger people using like this. Native speakers, I mean. Yeah, if you watch maybe a TV series about teenagers, you might hear lots of likes here and there, okay? The third one, I'm guilty of this one. I use a lot. So you can use you know to check if the listener understands what you're saying or agrees. For example, it's a great movie, you know? Instead of just saying, it's a great movie, I'm saying, it's a great movie, you know? You can use you know at the end of the sentence. You can use you know at the beginning of the sentence. Okay? I use it a lot. Yeah, I should be mindful of that because remember, the idea is for us to use these, but not too much. Okay? Number 4, well. Well is another common filler word. You can use it to introduce a response or pause for thought. For example, well, I haven't really thought about that. You see, it makes you sound more conversational if you use it with taste, right? This well, for example, is very nice when you are thinking, well, right? Well, I haven't really thought about that. Got it? So is another common filler word, so. You can use it to connect ideas or indicate a conclusion. After you have explained something, to conclude what you're saying, you can use so. So, what do you think we should do? You see? What about actually? Actually is another good one. You can use it to correct or clarify a previous statement that you uttered. For example, actually, I think I'll stay home tonight. You know, maybe your friend invites you to go out on the phone. And then initially you said, yeah, sure, let's go out. But then you correct yourself right away. Say, you know what? Actually, I think I'll stay home tonight. I got to work early tomorrow. You see? So you can use actually to correct yourself or to clarify something you've just said. Basically is another good one. Basically, you can use it to summarize or simplify a complex idea. Imagine you explain the complex idea first, but then you want to simplify that. You can say, basically, blah, blah, blah. Okay? For example, basically, we need to finish this project by Friday. Okay? I mean, another common one. I mean, you can use it to clarify or elaborate on a previous statement. This is a great chunk for you to memorize, by the way, to elaborate on something. When you elaborate on something, you explain more about that thing. You give more details. You elaborate on that. Okay? So, for example, somebody tells you something and you want to ask the person to explain some more because you didn't understand it at first. You can say, could you elaborate on that? Or would you mind elaborating on that? In other words, could you explain some more because I don't think I got it. Okay? But back to I mean here, you could say, for example, it's a good book. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's enjoyable. You see, I'm adding I mean right in the middle there. And it adds that conversational flavor to my speech. Another one, sort of or kind of. Notice the connective speech here. Many times, sort of sounds like sorta, and kind of sounds like kinda. So sorta, kinda, sorta, kinda. You can use it to express uncertainty or vagueness. When you want to sound a little bit vague, not so clear or not so specific. You can say, I'm kind of tired today. You see, again, your friend invites you to go out, and maybe you don't want to sound so direct because, you don't want to hurt your friend's feelings. You don't want to say, hey, I'm tired today. I'm not leaving my house today. So you can say, I'm kind of tired. Maybe next weekend? You see? So guys, there is a place for filler words, again, if you use them with taste. Number 10, right or okay. You can use it to confirm understanding or agreement. Okay, I understand what you're saying. Or right, I understand what you're saying. I tend to use those also at the end of my sentences sometimes, more like like to check or to confirm the other person understands what I'm saying. So here on the podcast, sometimes you see me, maybe many times you see me going, okay? Or, right? Again, guys, don't overuse them, okay? And I include myself in this. I am guilty of overusing some of these filler words sometimes. So this is something that I've been working on myself nowadays, using less and less of these fillers, okay? But yeah, sometimes we just use them, right? You see, I just did that, right? That's great. The next one, let me see, or let me think. You can use these phrases to buy some time to think or remember something. You can go, let me see, I think it was last Tuesday. Or you can go, let me think, I think it was last Tuesday. Got it? You can also use you see. I use this one a lot as well. You can use you see to introduce an explanation or justification. For example, you see, I didn't have time to finish the report. I'm explaining something to you. So here on the podcast, since I tend to explain stuff all the time, you hear me saying you see a lot too. You see, blah, blah, blah. You see, we use this word. You see, we don't use that word. Okay? In other words, that's a good one too. In other words, you can use it to rephrase or clarify a previous statement. Imagine you say something, and then you want to rephrase what you just said or clarify what you just said. You can say, in other words, blah, blah, blah. For example, in other words, we need to start over. Yeah? It's a similar use to basically. You know, remember basically when you want to simplify something or clarify something? Basically, or in other words, and then you say the idea again, but maybe a simpler way. Okay? To be honest, another great one. To be honest, you can use it to introduce your candid or honest opinion about something. To be honest, I didn't like the movie. Imagine your friends loved the movie. Oh my God, it's such a great movie. We loved it. And then you can say, well, to be honest, I didn't like it. You see? And I'm using well here too. Yeah, well, to be honest, I didn't like it. Right? I guess. Another one. Used to express uncertainty or hesitant agreement. I guess we could try that. You see, you're not sure. Yeah? Because you could say, well, we could try that. You see, more certain. Or you can go, I guess we could try that. All right? Or something. Or something used to express vagueness or lack of specificity. I think I left my keys on the table or something. You see, vague because I don't know exactly where I left my keys. I think I left them on the table or something. Or you can also add like that or something like that. It's really vague. Yeah, I don't know. I think I left my keys on the table or something like that. All right? You see, again, if you are at a lower level, phrases like that can be very useful for you because it can give more spontaneity to your speech. It helps you sound less robotic. But for a more advanced speaker, it's not a very good idea for you to use these a lot. For example, or something or something like that. Because as a more advanced speaker, you should try to be more precise with your vocabulary use. I don't know, I think I left my keys on the table or maybe on the chair. I have to check. You see, be more specific instead of, I think I left it on the table or something like that. Yeah, because or something like that can be like the easy way out or the easy route. And then you don't have to be precise or accurate in a word choice. Okay? So for more advanced learners, be careful with overusing these. We also have here just. You can use just to downplay or soften a statement. When you downplay something, you make it look or sound less serious than it is, okay? For example, I'm just calling to see how you're doing. You see, I'm just calling to see how you're doing. Instead of, I'm calling to see how you're doing. You're just, softening the statement a little bit, okay? I'm just calling to see how you're doing. This reminds me of a great song, man. I think it's from Stevie Wonder, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's from Stevie Wonder. You know that one? I just called, to say I love you, It's a good one. So I just called to say I love you. You see, you are softening. You have the statement. It's great. What about anyway? Used to change the topic or return to a previous point. Anyway, as I was saying, you see that a lot in movies, guys, in series. Imagine you're having a conversation with your friends, and then one of your friends takes the conversation on a tangent. He starts talking about something different from the original topic. He says whatever he wants to say, and then now you want to bring everybody back to the topic you were discussing before. You can say, okay. Well, anyway, as I was saying, and then you come back to the main topic. All right? You can also use seriously. You can use seriously to emphasize the truth or importance of a statement. Seriously, you have to try this cake. You see? Because it's so good. Come on, try it. And then your friend goes, oh, no, I'm not hungry, thank you. And then you want to be more emphatic. You can say, seriously, you need to try it. Just a tiny piece, but you need to try it. Seriously. You see? And finally, you can use literally as a filler. Literally. You can use literally to emphasize the literal meaning of a word or phrase. I was literally laughing out loud. Like literally, that's what was happening. Got it? You see, guys, so using filler words like that can help you sound more natural, more conversational, especially if you are at a lower level. But again, if you are at a more advanced level, don't overuse these because they can be distracting, okay? Be mindful of your speech patterns and practice speaking with fewer fillers for clearer communication. So just to conclude, let me just quickly go through all of them in sequence. So listen. Well, so, actually, basically, I mean, sorta, kinda, right, okay. In other words, to be honest, I guess, or something, or something like that. Just, anyway, seriously, literally. Okay? So make good use of these. I hope that these help you sound more conversational, but again, be mindful of how much you use them. Guys, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this episode today, which was based more on vocabulary and speech. Don't forget to check out my pronunciation course available on pre-sale. Link in the description here on YouTube as a pinned comment below and also in the show notes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet and leave me a 5-star review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I'm Thiago, I'm signing off, and I'll be talking to you very soon in the upcoming episode. Bye-bye.